Hello everyone, this is Sonic Fiend, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about Street Fighter 6, namely my boy right here, Jamie. And I'm going to put it out here right now, I don't think Jamie is as bad as people are writing him off to be. Like, is he a little underwhelming compared to, you know, his predecessors Yun and Yang of Street Fighter Third Strike and SF6 fame? A little bit. Like, he has some of their tools. Like, the spirit's there. He's very much in that archetype of character, but, you know, compared to the OGs, he's definitely not as strong. I also don't think he's bottom 3 either. Like, I'm gonna put it out here right now. My hot take is, I think Jamie's actually +1 on Honda. I think he wins that matchup. But suffice to say, you know, he's not altogether there. He could use some help. He's also very much a lab monster character, so, like, his strengths aren't immediately apparent if you're picking him up for the first time, so I thought I'd use today to talk about things that I like about him and things that could use some help going forward. Okay, so first things first, I think his buttons are actually all very good. Like, for instance, he's actually blessed with a 5 MK. So, for the record, I'm going to be using the like, universal fighting game notations. I'm going to try and stray away from, like, standing medium or crouch. I'm just going to use the universal number notation because besides Smash, I am also an anime fighter player, so I think that's actually better because everyone knows numbers. Numbers don't change between regions of the world, you know what I mean? But yeah, so his 5 MK is actually one that is drive cancelable, or drive rush cancelable. I think the only other character with a 5 MK that does this is Kimberly. But Kimberly's is frame 8 and Jamie's is frame 10. I wouldn't even change the frame data on it. Just the fact that he has this is so much better than, you know, most other contemporaries of this type of button. Besides that, his 5LK, his is actually unique, and if you mash the button, he does like these cool breakdance kicks, which are, I actually use these to off of Oki, let's say throw. Well, okay, not in the corner. There we go. So in the corner, I just walk up and hit these because while these aren't a low, his 5LK isn't a standing low. That may or may not be a little too much, I think. Like, if you remember, if you've played Dragon Ball FighterZ, you know where I'm coming with this. Adult Gohan's his 5L. His 5L is a standing low kick. And that makes people up 5 ways from Sunday. But even though it's not a low, it catches people slipping a lot because they don't... If the Jamie player isn't crouching, they don't expect a low to come out, so they won't be blocking for it. But because of that, you can catch people off guard, and then these are also drive rush cancelable, so you can get stuff started from that. So yeah, his normals across the board all measure up. There is one that I would like to see changed, and that is his 5 heavy punch. So this is a multi-hit, which is a special cancelable. The issue is, this is a 3-hit move. If the 3rd hit comes out, you can't cancel it. You can't cancel it into anything, not even super, which is very weird, I think. I don't see any reason why the last hit isn't special cancelable. Which also sucks because, let me put an example here. Yeah, so his 5 heavy punch has some limited juggle use, but after the 3rd hit, after the ender, you can't combo to anything, so the opponent just falls down and, you know, you lose what could have been a cool conversion. So if there's any change I'd like to see to any of his normals, it's that, excuse me, it's that all 3 hits are special cancelable. Okay, so next up, I'm going to talk about his command normals. So first we have, let me see, remember these. So the first one that comes to mind is the 6MK, which is his overhead kick. So this is a pretty good move. It's a 22 frame startup, which can catch people sleeping. It's actually on hit. It's +1 on hit. On block, what is it on block? On block, it is -3, which isn't that bad, honestly. Which is, you know, you can only throw out a 4-framer, which is most characters just, you know, crouching jab. So 6MK, I think, is actually a very good button. There is one quirk with it. So this move, so 6MK has a low crush property. So it's an overhead, right? So this beats any low attack, but it's not airborne, which means you can throw this, which is very, like, you can throw this, and if you, like, I don't know, if you trade with something, he'll be left standing instead of being knocked down. So I don't know if you want to make this airborne. I think it's fine as is, but, you know, it could be useful. It actually could be detrimental if it is airborne, because that might lead you to a whole different can of worms if someone catches you sleeping with something. But I don't know. It is a weird button, but as it is, I think it's a very good move. I will say, so this has a target combo. This has a target combo, which this is unlocked at level 2. I have level 3 default because that's just how I train. So at level 2, it unlocks this, which has a drink ender. I would like it if this were unlocked at level 1, just so it makes it a little more dangerous to, you know, get caught sleeping by. Because as it is, you can only get this twice and have, you know, to build up your drink meter, and after that, the drink becomes useless. And, you know, actually, let me get this on hit. Hold on. So on hit, you actually get some good Oki out of it. So again, that's not a problem, but I would just like to see this follow-up be unlocked at level 1. That's it. Also, I should say that most of this is unscripted. I just wrote down, like, a very loose guideline of what I want to talk about, and I'm just winging it from there. So next in command normals will be his 2KK. It is called the Tensei, I believe. I just call it Pinwheel. There's no real reasoning for it being called Pinwheel. It's just a name I decided to give the move. So this move is it's a pretty situational anti-air. It is very unsafe, I will say. All these menus. So on block, it is -8. That is a big blow up by most characters, like standing heavy punches, and definitely some mediums. So you get blown up by this, you probably deserve it. Which, don't change the frame data. I think that's fine. Honestly, this is a very good move. The cool thing about this attack is, if you hold up on hit, it automatically transitions into a follow-up situation. So from the follow-up, you can only get jumping. It's jumping medium kick, or not medium kick. Pardon me, jumping medium punch. So you get this, and that confirms into his dive kick. Which I have something to say about the dive kick, but I'll save that for later. But this is a very cool move because, as I'll demonstrate, it's actually a safe jump, and you can kind of loop it. It catches roll back, it catches standing. They just have to be ready to block. And, you know, even if they do block, you can just well, I did it wrong. Hold on. You can just throw or do whatever you want. You have to always be mindful of wake up DB, but, you know, you can always block that too. Whoops, hold on. So yeah, this command normal, pretty good. I really, at its current state, I wouldn't change anything about it. Something I did learn very recently is, out of Drive Rush, it has an advanced jungle state for some reason. Not even on like punish counter, just out of Drive Rush. So that does allow you to link his jumping, there you go. It does allow you to link his jumping heavy kick, which, you know, off of the, as I was talking about earlier, it does link into his 5 heavy punch. And then from there, you have to, in its current state, you have to be like on the ball. You have to link out of heavy punch or combo out of heavy punch immediately, like on reaction into, you know, whatever ender you want. So yeah, pinwheel or 2KK, very, very good. Alright, so next up, and I did have to actually, if you look right above, I had to actually change Jamie's drink level to level 2 for this. So up next, I'm going to talk about his 4 heavy punch. So that is going to be this. So at this moment in time, the only purpose I see this move having is in like around this range, like the shimmy situation where, you know, people want to commit to buttons, they're trying to feel each other out, and excuse me, you can do this to bait out specifically throws, because what this does, have the opponent set to like grab after blocking, just for an example. So what this does is it actually punishes throws by like kind of like, you know, swaying out of throw range and then elbowing them right back. And this is actually, like, for its purpose, it's actually pretty good at that, because it's always guaranteed to be a punish counter because you're punishing a whiff grab. So that does confirm into, like, his standing lights, which means you get the target combo, which is, like, what'll look something like this. Well, hold on, I'm bad, hold on. There, you can do something like that. But the reason I want to talk about this move is at level 3 it changes, like different animation, same effect on, you know, on punish counter, they just send back a little bit farther. The thing is, this has a target combo at level 3, and for the life of me, I don't see any Jamie players actually use it. It looks like this. No block, okay. So this is what... Oh, I got a drink now. It looks like this. You know, good chunk of damage, but as you just saw, the second hit is not a true combo. So let me do that again. So this is what a true target combo looks like. It's 1, 2, 3. You saw 3 hits. This is not 3 hits. There is a gap between the first and second hit, which I think is meant to catch people off guard if they try to like mash a... Let me see if I can get this right. Hold on. So I'm gonna open up a new slot for this. See, crouching light punch. Block reversal. There's so many menus, my god. Okay. Alright, so let's try it. Okay, so it does beat that. So it's useful for that, but you don't get anything off of it. It's just a knockdown. And even then, like, again, I don't see Jamie's uses for anything. And I'm not sure what you would get out of it. What you'd get out of it otherwise, because if they're patient and they just wait. So I'm gonna set to block all and just, you know, turn this off. If they're patient, this is -20, which is a nightmare. And this isn't special cancelable, it's not super cancelable, I don't think. Yeah, not even into super, or the drink super. So again, it's not useful for much else outside of like being out of punish. Bare minimum, I'd like to see this be drive cancelable, like on the last hit, and then you can maybe follow up into something cool. That would be worth going for this, because again, if they just wait and they block all 3 hits, you're minus 20. You're dead to anything. And you know what? Let me see. Now I'm here. I just thought of this right now. Can they drive impact this? Probably. Let's see. So drink. Yeah, at that point you're super screwed. And I can't do anything after the second hit. Once that happens. Yeah, because of the way this game reads inputs. Trying to hit drive impact after the fact, you just die because it just buffs up the last hit anyway. So, yeah, I would like it to be a true combo, which eliminates the cool like gap. Like, punishing the gap, but, you know, it's not doing anything otherwise, so, yeah, just tighten that up a little bit. Make it worthwhile, I'd say. Alright, and the last command normal is going to be his 6 HK, which is this, this little, I'm just gonna call it, like, the dandy step. I'm Guilty Gear build, pardon me. But, yeah. So I'm at level 4 for this because at level 4 it unlocks its true potential. It has a sway follow-up. It's called the Haze, I believe. So this is done by pressing... So after the first kick, you have to press back and kick, and then it's weird. Depending on the timing, it unlocks one of 3 follow-ups. So if you do it at the earliest possible timing, you get this. You get this headbutt, which is pretty good. It's minus 12, hella unsafe, but on hit, it does combo into a lot of things. It is special cancelable, I believe. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Didn't mean to get that out, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, so earliest possible timing, you get the headbutt. After, I believe, 25 frames... You get this cool little like double punch. Is it low? Okay, it's not a low, but I have caught people like trying to dash in with like a drive rush after I start swinging away, and this itself I believe is also drive rush cancelable. Yeah, right there. Actually, is the headbutt also? No, the headbutt's not, but this is, and that's pretty cool. And from there, you can combo out, you do all manner of cool things. I don't know if it's special cancelable. It's super cancelable, that's good. But hold on, Oh, no, right there, it's special cancelable. So, that's a very cool follow-up. And the last one, if you wait past that, he actually starts drinking, which, if you didn't already know, let me just burn this a little bit. There. So if you didn't already know, when Jamie takes a drink at level 4, it refills 1 bar of his drive gauge, which is actually pretty broken, I'd say. That shit's kind of busted. But, yeah, when you sway back, you just start drinking. And if depending on the animation finish, he gets like 2 full drive bars out of it, pardon me. I cannot speak. I cannot say words, which is bad for a commentator, but it is what it is. So my change for this... These are all very good. They all do different things, but my problem is they're all timed to, you know, timing. You have to wait to get follow-ups. What I would like to see is in a future update, if you input a direction, you guarantee a certain follow-up. So, in this case, you would get, if you did forward, you get the headbutt, always. If you press down, you get the punch. And if you hold back, you start drinking. I think if you did a direction and didn't have to wait, it'd be much more tricky, because the other thing about this move, after Drive Rush, it goes almost full screen. So let me see if I can get it from here. Yeah, that just goes flying across the stage. So at max full screen, whoops, hold on. I can do this. Oh yeah, right there. It reaches with the tip, which is, what is that on block? Yeah, it's +1 on block, which is kind of insane. So if you did that, you know, and mix it up from there, like imagine hitting that and then, you know, hold on. Hitting this and then going into the, like the double punch afterward. Just imagine the trickery you could get with that, but that's beside the point. But yes, that's something I'd like to see changed. As it is, I think they're fine, but just for a quality of life, just so you have access to all of your options, I think that would be the better play. Okay, so coming up now, we're going to be talking about Jamie's specials, and most of them are actually very, very good. Like, they're honestly probably my favorite things about this character. So, of course, he has, you know, he has the Recco, the 1, 2, 3. Or the punch version is just called free flow strikes, and the kicks are free flow kicks, and the kick ender gives him a drink level. As it is, I would not change anything about these. I think they're actually very well designed moves. I believe the EX one is, or OD, I guess, overdrive. I think it's plus. Hold on. Okay, -3, but you know it's not terrible. And the normal one's -6. You know, very fast to start up. You know, sometimes you can just catch people sleeping with this, like in the shimmy, and you know, spaced out. You know, it is -6. There aren't too many buttons that reach that far that are also 6 frames, I think. That may be a crouching medium, but, you know, you have to be on the ball for that, and not everyone's going to be. But, yeah, very good special here. Same could be said about his palm. If you've seen the memes, this is definitely the, probably his most... Is it his most? It might be. One of his most, anyway. His most degenerate special, just because... You know, at max range, because, like, this is Swagger Step, but this is what we call it the palm. So, it's usually -6. Does it change on the levels? Okay. Actually, wait, hold on. Because that's -5, I didn't know that. See, I'm learning something, too. If you learned something, tell me in the comments what you learned. I learned that this is -5, not -6. But my point was, max spaced, it's actually super safe, which I think it's around here. Yeah, that's -4, but look at that pushback. See if I can get a little farther. Yeah, right. We gotta hit right the tip of the palm there. Yeah, right there. That's -2. That's insane. You are not punishing that. There you go. That's what you would like to see. But yeah, the palms are very good. The EX one, hold on. So the EX one is -1, which means at max distance, it's gonna be, I believe, +1. +2, actually, goddamn. And at level 4, it also has a follow-up, the Hermit Punch, so it's 1, 2. That is less safe, but can catch people, like, it can catch people if they mash between the gaps, and it sets up for a limited juggle opportunity because it has them rolling in the corner. Let me see if I can get this right. Okay, so it's gonna be this. I might be doing it wrong, hold on. I think it need to be airborne, so let me see. 1, 2, or it might be Oh, okay, it's my bad. It's just the regular one, not the follow-up. So let's try it again. In the corner. There you go. So in the corner, the EX1, the one palm has some limited juggle use. So again, very good special. Nothing wrong with this at all. So following that, you have to start unlocking the following specials. So at level 1, it unlocks the Divekick. And this is pretty good as dive kicks go. My one gripe with it is something I can't actually show because I'm playing on PlayStation 4. So I don't have the hitbox viewer. Hopefully they... I don't think that's not a thing on this. Is there? You know what? Let me shut my mouth first. Let me not put words in my mouth in case I'm wrong. Okay, that sounded like a gunshot outside. I don't know what that was. But let me just double check. I don't think it's an option. Frame, attack data. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, the console version has no hitbox viewer. There is a mod of it for PC. Hopefully Capcom will be gracious enough to, with this amazing training mode, also just give us a hitbox viewer just so we all can see it. But the problem with Jamie's dive kicks is that they all have extended hurt boxes that go beyond like the tip of his foot. So what winds up happening is sometimes this will trade or straight out just lose to moves that really shouldn't. Like I was playing a set earlier against a Kami, and I used this to call out their not cannon spike, their what's it called? What's the name of that move? The spiral arrow. So I used this, not that, but that is funny. It is funny that he swears upon whiffing that. But no, so I used this to call out the spiral arrow, and I was right, but for some reason, because my hurt box extends way past my foot, I got hit for it. Wasn't even a trade. I lost that interaction, and then they got Frioki off of it, which really sucks. So let's go on with the move as it is. Just you know, if you could fix the hurt box so that it lines up properly with his actual foot, you know, that would go a long way, because, you know, he's not the only one with a dive kick. Jury has one too. Hold on. Yeah, Jury has one too, and so does Cammy, funnily enough. And their hurt boxes actually line up properly. They don't lose to random things that aren't, you know, that aren't dedicated anti-airs. So yeah, if they could fix that, I'd be a very happy camper. Alright, and lastly, now we can talk about the breakdance kick. This is Bakkai, and it is not a very good move. No siree, Bob. The only use I have for this particular special is, this is 236K. I only have use for the light one, because on the light one, at least you can get something resembling Oki off of it. Especially in the corner. Corner Oki with this move, hold on. Actually, pretty good. That's fine. The problem is, the main draw of this move, this is unlocked at Drake level 2. The main draw of this move is supposed to be the fact that it is, I believe at startup anyway. Let me actually look at the command list. So, where is it? Okay, it actually doesn't say it, but a property of Bakkai and its main draw is that, excuse me, at its starting frames, it is invulnerable to projectiles. So it's supposed to, like, Jamie's supposed to be like really cool and like break dance past any zoning that's supposed to come his way, because he has no projectiles of his own. So he can struggle against zoners sometimes, namely like Guile and JP. The problem is, this move is not the fastest. It's 18 frames, And it doesn't go anywhere fast enough to warrant using that in neutral. Because it is very, very unsafe on, like, on block and on whiff. Like, this is a, if you block this, I should be dead. Super, even on light hit. Or, it's not super, pardon me. On, special. And even worse than that is, like, as you just saw, light is 18 frames. Medium is 22. Heavy is 26. The overdrive one is 21. So, like, the best quote-unquote version of this move is still slower than the light one for reasons I don't know. Because every other move like this, you know, the EX one... Okay, maybe not EX Palm, that's a bad example, but EX Palm has uses. It has a follow-up at level 4. But most other specials are at least as fast or faster than the light one. And because, and as we mentioned before, this has juggle capabilities. So you can do this with the light. Hold on. You know, once I'm good at this. Yeah, so it works with the light. But... Hold on. But not the EX one. They fall out of the EX one if I try and go for that, which is why. There's actually no use to this move whatsoever if you can't even get extended combos off of it. So my proposal, and this is a wish list, like hopefully they buff it in one way or the other. Make this faster, and or preferably make it travel farther during its active duration. Cause like this is full screen, right? And it barely, even from there, the last hit barely connects with Jury. So make this travel farther to actually beat out zoning, because as it is, it does not do a very good job at that, and no Jamie I know of actually uses it for that purpose. And as a result, he struggles very much against zoner-type characters. Not to say that he should beat zoners outright, but at max distance against like a Guile, and especially JP, he has nothing really to get in on them effectively. The best he has is like Drive Rush, and they can react to that after the fact, because you're full screen. So yes, Bakkai, the breakdance kicks, please buff this move, because as it is, besides the light one, it has no use. Alright, so a couple of things really quick before we get into like the big change I want to talk about. So, first off, level 1, like level 1 is not an invincible reversal super, and really this is just something that all the cast could really use. Just make it like a universal, like give it like a couple of invul frames at the start of all level 1 supers, just for utility, because some characters have it, others don't, and it's really weird. I don't know why they chose to go that route. Either they, in my opinion anyway, either they all should be like invincible at start, or none of them should. So just like pick one or the other, please. So the other thing is, Jamie's level 2 super is what's called an install super. If you're not familiar with that term, it just means that Jamie will spend Jamie will spend 2 bars to power himself up. In this case, he accesses his level 4 kit at any level of drink, no matter where he's at. The problem with this install is, and we'll get to it in a moment, because the bar has to drain. What's wrong with this is, there it is. So after the install is done, he sobers up completely. No matter what drink level you were before using the install, he goes back to level 0. And that is so stupid. Because, like, there's no install in this game. There's no install in any fighting game that I can think of that actively punishes the player for going for it after its duration is up. Like, at worst, off the top of my head, I can think of, like, Soul Bad Guy and Guilty Gear. Before, not in Strive, but in everything before that. Soul's install, that's kind of what we call it. That's why we call it that. Soul's Dragon install makes him super strong, super powerful. But after it's done, there's, like a waiting period where he's, like, vulnerable for, like, a couple seconds, and then you could punish him if, you know, he hasn't already killed you by that point. That's the worst I've ever seen of it. But in this game, no matter where you are after the install super ends for any other character, they're just free to do their game plan. Like, Jury's right here. We use her as an example. Hold on. I don't know what the input is for it. There it is. So yeah, her install, you know, gives her crazy combo potential. I'm not a Jury main, so I don't really know how this actually works. Yeah, she does that. That's what she wants out of her install. And when hers is done, you know, it goes away, but she's not punished for it. When his install super is done, he goes back to the worst version of himself. And that is so astronomically stupid. So, my change, and I think this is fair to keep in line with the rest of the cast, please just let him keep his drink level after he's done with it. Because you're spending two super bars for that. And for it to punish you so severely for it, I think is just frankly unfair. But yeah, please fix that. And that relates to my big change for Jamie as a whole. So, for the uninitiated, at level... I gotta actually bring them down for this. So many menus. Okay, so... at level 0, when he has no drinks in him, Jamie's damage is actually... he actually suffers, like, scaling on all of his moves. So, if you look at the, if you look right above at the, you know, at the damage marker, or the damage display, rather, at level 0, all of his moves do 90% of their actual damage count. So he is actively weaker with no drinks in him. At level 1, it goes to 95. Level 2 is standard. Level 3 is 105, and level 4 is 110. So, what I would do, just so he's not so weak at round start, what I would do, if and only if he can't keep at least one level of drink between rounds, what I would do is to take away the scaling entirely. Just, what is it, level... excuse me. Yeah, so instead of making level 2 his normal damage output, what I would do, at all levels, make his damage just the same across the board, no extra scaling. But what I would do is change some frame data on some of his specials and some normals to compensate. So what I would do, right? Let me set the opponent to block. There we go. So what I would do is at level 2 drinks, right? His Rekka starter, his free flow punch 1 is -6, right? So at level 2 drinks, I would actually increase this to be safer by 2 frames. So make this level... excuse me, at level 2, make his free flow punch, his Rekka starter 1, make that -4. So that it's really only punishable by, you know, 4 framers. And even then, like, you could trade with it, the Jamie player could trade with it, but I think making this +2, or not, no, definitely not +2, pardon me, making this plus by 2 frames to make this -4 I think would go a long way. And EX... The EX one would be -1. Which, you know, allows you to keep on pressure. Because Jimmy is supposed to be a pressure character. Like, he's very tricky. He has unorthodox moves. You know, he's supposed to be, like, in your face at all times. Yeah. He works better at close range. Has some good mid-range pokes, but he wants to be here, like, in your face to, like, shimmy you, mess you up some. So level 2, making this, like, safer by 2 frames, I think would be pretty cool, right? And all of his other moves, like, that's unsalvageable. The palms... So that would be -3, which, you know, and also, you know, given the distance, right? Hold on. Given the pushback, you know, very few moves can actually punish that. Definitely not medium, so... You know, like crouching light kicks and light punches, standing light punches, you know, that sort of thing. That could punish that. But also the biggest change, I would say, at level 4, make him a frame data monster. So, let me actually just bring him to that level right now. There we go. So, I think at level 4, to make him like a demon, like an absolute son of a gun, like just a straight up bastard, what I would do is make his normals +2. So this is, you know, that's excuse me. So that's -3, spaced out. Actually, not even spaced, right? That's just straight up -3, so that would make that -1, which, you know, for its frame data, I'm not saying make this move faster. It could say 10 frames, but if it's -1, then, you know, people got to be careful about what they choose to punish this with. And don't apply it to all normals. Definitely not his lights. His lights don't need it. That's -5. Yeah, that could be -3. Why not? That's unsalvageable. Yeah, that's -10. Don't do that. That would be -4. The big one, definitely the big one, would be his standing medium punch, which normally is +1 on block. If this is +3 on block, oh baby. Because what do you get off of that? What is throw start up? 5 frames? Okay, so you don't get a throw out of that. But there's so much you can do with that. Because, like, out of Drive Rush, actually... Yeah, you don't have to apply this to his command normals. I think his command normals are fine. But, if you apply it to, like, Drive Rush 5 medium punch, that becomes +7. +7. Hold on. That is definitely throw-worthy. That is definitely punishing with everything else worthy. Except for heavies. So yeah, that's what I would do to... Obviously, it doesn't need to be all of his moves. Or, excuse me, not all of his normals. But definitely, like, his Rekka 1. Actually, what is that on... Yeah. Okay, so same for I did across the board. So, +2 to the Rekka 1. And +2 to select normal. So, medium kick and medium punch. So 5 MKs, 5 MP, 2 MK, 0. Is that 0 on block? Wow, okay. Okay, so don't change that. But the others, yes. So that's once again that's 5 MP, 5 MK, and 2 MK, and 5 HK. Make those all +2. Not on hit, just on block. Just so he stays on top of you more often. That's what I would do to change the drink system as a whole. Obviously, I don't expect this to go through, but bare minimum, please don't make him like, you know, at level 1, please don't make him, you know, worse than he already is. Don't make him 90% scaling by default at round start. If you choose not
to give him any drink levels between rounds. That's my change to Jamie's drink mechanic. And at that point, I think that wraps up everything I wanted to talk about Jamie. Again, I don't think he's a bad character. There's lots to discover with him. That's why I think he's so fascinating as a character. This is a character for lab monsters. But that is my proposal on some things I would like to see made a little better of him going forward. And again, I don't expect a patch to be put out immediately. I'd be shocked if we got one in July. Because, when is... Actually, I can look this up right now. When is EVO this year? I should know, but I'm bad. Okay, so EVO is the first weekend of August, so I wouldn't expect a major balance patch to come until after EVO. So, you know, being gracious, let's say September. September could be the big first huge balance patch. At that point, that's when I would like to see, you know, these changes put into effect. But again, that's going to wrap it up now. I think I've touched on all my points. This is very much like, not as scripted as it could have been. This is just like me jotting down things and making like comments and going from there. So again, this is your resident Jamie Main, Sonic Fiend. And I'm going to be signing off. Have a wonderful day, everybody.